welcome to Starladder Season 13 Europe. We've got YeS Submarine versus Team Liquid, and Team Liquid, unfortunately, just coming off a loss to CIS Rejects. Let's see how they're going to play this time. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under, and I'm going to be joined by Clairvoyance this time. How you doing? I can indeed.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
For open mic, you just need to say open mic for team. You check that box, yep, and you should be good to go.
Great.
A bit ambiguous for them, but either way, we're getting into this. And YeS Submarine, obviously banning out SF because it's good on Radiant, and the Tusk that Jerax plays so well, as does Mind Control. Doom, do you think it's going to be a Doxia ban out or something else for Liquid?
To be completely honest, I'm not familiar with pick. I see some of their players, and they're obviously
Dire team pick.
short not being Scandal being one of the best mid 12, something like that, or around that era anyway. And Artez, I guess the remnants of CIS, like the CIS rejects type they are. So it looks like it'll be the Wisp ban.
There was a big shuffle recently, with Na'Vi breaking up, with CIS Rejects like breaking up. A lot of teams have kind of shuffled, and the YeS Submarine team is new. And yesterday they took a win over Team Bad English, but other than that, I haven't seen too much out of this lineup. But Team Liquid securing themselves a nice wombo combo in Doxia and Wyvern.
Bad English.
There is a Team Bad English. Their English was not in fact bad in the lobby.
I see. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
This is a typical thing out of Liquid now. Something that they've run many times in the past. I guess in the previous patch they would have ran this with Lina as opposed to the Darkseer early on. But the Darkseer, of course, being one of the best off-lane options this patch, and we have the Winter Wyvern strategizes so well, not only in the laning stages by being able to push out and harass, but also with that wombo combo vacuum as well, the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, it's really Stella. At the same time, YeS Submarine picking up the Queen of Pain, who has like a pick ban rate, I think the highest in the month of October, and yeah, and then Dazzle as well. Always good to Shallow Grave. It just helps the Queen of Pain be a little bit more ham, or of course make those gank attempts by Team Liquid make them dive maybe too far.
Yeah, and it's also a pretty good general option against the Darkseer, I would say, because Darkseer is just one of those heroes that force the extreme amount of stain on your lane. Dazzle provides that with because most carries and supports, they will not have enough regen or the ability to harass out the Darkseer completely. Dazzle's one of the...
Yeah, and they go with the Viper again. They seem to love... They have a really great lineup, or ability to play around Falter on the Viper, and get work done. He plays it very aggressively as well, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid try to go for another hero that can maybe roam mid and gank, because that's how they played it in the last set. They just let someone gank mid, set up kills, easy kills for Viper, of course, with that Nether Toxin and the poison attack. But YeS Sub, gotta find a good way to respond to a Viper in mid, which seems, I mean, Queen of Pain should be okay, I guess. She can blink away from a lot of the danger.
She can, but Viper's the one middle lane, because if Shadow Strike the dealing with corrosive skin, which actually does more damage to you and it slows you, so it's just one of those lanes that the Queen of Pain, who excels at the middle line by being able to trade, is unable to trade effectively against Viper. It's a scaling concern. K or Viper, they just beat you after a certain level.
Yeah, definitely true. And with Spirit Breaker, that's the beginnings of the gank lineup. Hard on a queen because she has a blink, but of course blink doesn't disjoint the charge, so even if she blinks away, Spirit Breaker and Viper can sometimes just dive her anyway.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, well, it's definitely easier said than done, but it is a lineup right now where I favor
5 seconds remaining.
Because they have a lot of aggression, a lot of different options, and very strong lane presence. And YeS Submarine, despite the good laning heroes they have, it almost seems they're already on the back. Clockwork especially now, a hero that's known very potent at level 6 and what solo kill pressure applying, but without the good lane setup that he gets, he's limited to his level 2, level 3 after the cog blocks on crease. It just has a hard time killing heroes these days, and Viper is definitely heroes that are very hard to solo kill Clockwork.
Yeah, and now a Rubik pickup, they're gonna be the ones who get that. It's
squishy, man. They're really squishy. Very susceptible all around. Like, they'll always have to get the and be able to blow up one or two targets to start the fight. And I'm not sure if that's possible against.
Yeah, I feel like it's something where they went for the Rubik because everything you can steal from Winter is really nice, and everything that you can get, obviously from Viper, you can always get the Viper Strike, but I don't, as you said, it's very squishy. I don't know if Rubik's going to be alive for long enough to make this happen.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, the only way they can salvage this is have a safe lane carry like a Slark type of hero that might just end up outscaling every hero. Because Liquid already recognized they have all these squishy heroes in the early game and say, hey, they're not going to be able to survive without a hard carry that scales. And even if they do, they still have like ridiculous amounts of D and control options in the Wyvern and Spirit Breaker on the one target. So Anti-Mage already has been banned out. PL is the next ban because I guess Liquid, they don't have the best options against PL because they have a Viper. But YeLo Submarine, I don't really see the options besides something like a Slark. And even then, I wonder how they can survive the early.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
Definitely. So, Liquid feeling like they're in a good place to do. And also, in the series they just played in with CIS Rejects, they pretty much wiped them the first game, and then CIS Rejects kind of went back to the drawing boards with drafts and managed to come out in the next two games. But Team Liquid had a lineup that they felt very comfortable executing, looking like this one as well, just missing a hard carry. And the Gyro's banned out. The Jug is as well. Both of those heroes were played in the last series. But certainly, actually, they banned out the Anti-Mage. I guess just for the Doxia, and I don't know if Viper really cares too much about that, though.
Well, Viper does. Out the game in 20 minutes against the AM. It's kind of a solution to the AM. So it was a good ban from them, recognizing that, and they obviously wanted to pick the Viper into the paint and the Dazzle. So, again, it was like a well-crafted idea. I wanted to ask you, in the previous series, Liquid lost or?
Liquid lost. So what happened is game one was very much in favor of Team Liquid, a complete stomp. One of those games where they had just too many kills early on, won the game at about 20 minutes in. Game two was more even with YeLo Submarine coming out on top, and game three, YeLo Submarine picked a Huskar. I'm pretty sure Team Liquid knew it was coming because they picked up a Windrunner and then just let them, the AA ban came out and Liquid had an opportunity to ban Huskar and they didn't. But they fell prey to the Huskar, who got online before their Windrunner did. So now it is going to be the Slog. So
yeah,
and I think that happens to good teams, right? Sometimes you get Huskar'd.
Yeah. Oh, it's just one of those heroes that if you don't have the right counters, right lineup to deal with, it's you really don't have much options. And the Slark pickup here again. I feel like Liquid actually stole the YeLo Submarine. They looked at the lineup and said, "Hey, this is the only hero that you have left. Slark is actually a game that's able to in against the Darkseer fairly decently and scale into the mid game and still cause a huge because of his ability to wear off disables, but most importantly just farm really, really fast in comparison to what Liquid offers. And Slark is a hero that, like, if you have isolated heroes on, Slark will snipe you. At that point, he might just end up feeding off you if you're exposed. So this, for me, it's a partial deny pick. It's also a very good pick because it's a hero like Rubik does absolutely Slark. All click heroes, no effect on Slark whatsoever.
Yeah, and as we talked about, they're really squishy. Slog's gonna have a field day here. And also against the Clockwork in lane, even they can maybe make some good stuff happen. I'm really liking Liquid's lineup, and I'm not quite sure what YeLo Submarine can pick up to salvage this. Although, of course, a lot's gonna depend on laning. If YeLo Submarine get a lead, maybe they can just have the Queen of Pain picking off people all over the map.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know. This is random, but maybe Necrolite. I really don't know what other options they have here. Sven, Necrolite, something big, but even Sven, like, there's so many kiting potential, lockdown ability. Morphling. That's their option to replicate the Viper as well. Something that Artez has played a lot in the past, actually, but not a hero that I found to have much successes in the region.
And suddenly, not a hero I was expecting either. It's really funny. Going into Nanyang, he hadn't been played very much, and then I think Avicii played him a bunch and won with him, so it was like, oh, good, Morphling's good. And then, of course, they were the only ones who played him, so then Morphling had a really good win rate. Unfortunately, they did end up falling with it, but I don't know how it's gonna go. It's... the nice thing with Viper, and then the replicate attacks the Viper. Oh yeah, infinite.
Yeah, it triggers the corrosive skin. It's actually something that was used in the past when Viper was getting first picked by like LGD every time. But again, the Morphling days are over. Viper days are kind of over as well. Pick the Viper in against the Queen of Pains, against the Dazzles, against squishy intel heroes.
Yeah, really nice to see. Now I'm going to quickly introduce the teams. Hopefully this isn't a long pause. We've had a lot of pause gaming earlier today.
Always.
And yeah, just something sometimes Dota gives up. We've of course got Fodder on the Viper, Kuroki on Spirit Breaker, Jerax on that Wyvern, Matumba Man, who sometimes I don't know why I have a lot of trouble saying Matumba Man in team fights. I'm pretty sure I said Matumba Ton and then also Matumba Banana, which is a life choice, but either way, he's going to be on that hard carry of Slark and then Mind Control on the Doxia. And tossing it over to you to introduce Yellow Submarine, who have not all loaded in.
Right, sure, I'll try it. I'm not good at Yellow Submarine, yes, I'm captain and the Dazzle at this point. We got Artez, the former carry of HR, playing Morphlings. Glorious Mid Empire, if it is the same scan.
Yeah.
Playing the Queen of Pain. Miposhka, who's been a CIS competitive player for a long time, playing the Clockwork now. Moritz, I believe another remnant of games, coming in here with the Ruby.
Yeah, this is definitely, as you said, this is a lot of common CIS names, and it is the same scandal. So, wearing a really weird set where Queen of Pain can't see. That doesn't seem like the best of strategies. This is kind of funny though, because I feel like Morphling, obviously someone who can be a really hard carry, but so can Slark, and I just feel like Slark has such a better mid game than the Morphling potentially, unless he somehow gets ahead here.
Yeah,
so,
in general, like, Darkseer thing, it was actually started back during the E-Home Glory days when he against the Darkseer, and it was very effective, and that's period of time, especially the I2 era. Now, it's after so many stats and buffs to Darkseer, even with the 5-second iron shells, clarities, they add up to how the lane get out, and even with the Dazzle, again, I don't know, man. Definitely not.
we'll see how it goes for them. Maybe they can make something happen. And there's always funny things that happen in games. I've definitely seen teams get outdrafted, but end up getting a few early kills, which just snowballed the game for them. But they've got already an early smoke coming out from Yellow Submarine. And Doxia, not the easiest hero to catch, but if you come at him from behind without him knowing, I actually would prefer a pincer here for them, but they just want to find anybody, and usually if you've got 5 men on 1, you're going to get a kill. Although, Mind Control, will he be surrounded? There's going to be a telekinesis from Garech. Let's see if Miposha, in the cogs, and Mind Control going down here, slowly but surely. A couple more auto attacks, going to Clockwork, so nice start for him.
Yeah, not a bad start, especially if he's going to play the solo lane against the Darkseer, which it looks like he is actually with the... I didn't really mention lane tri lane the Darkseer, but it looks like they're gonna go aggressive and try to dodge the dual lane potential. Darkseer Spirit Breaker dual lane, and that's usually hard to crack with squishy intel heroes.
Yeah. We've also got a charge onto Scandal, which does not steal him the rune, but Kuroki just doing some early harassment, gonna make Queen of Pain's life harder. She actually doesn't, I'm assuming she's ferrying out a salve immediately, yeah. So.
Yep, standard mid lane, and of course PSM's here too, as well, if he would like to. I thought it'd be a good idea. Maybe another tango. He did get a little bit of gold from the blood, so.
Yeah, these days, oh goodness, Optic Burn with, Scandal
He's
needs
dead.
to blink away. He does, Shadow Strike first, and yeah, he's dead. A bit of a mistake there from Scandal skilling that up, and that's what happens when they know what you have for the first engagement. I was going to say how it's really common these days. The Wyvern comes mid-level 1, Optic Burns a bit, goes back to her lane, and so Dazzle would be that too, but knowing you have Shadow Strike, not good.
Just Shadow Strike has got to the lane, and Fada just hit level 2 Corrosive Skin. You can see now, Scandal's actually going to take damage from Shadow Striking Vipers.
Yeah.
It's just not a fair trade when you cast Shadow Strike. Again,
And
he's casting it again.
he's gonna blink away this time, but as you said, Scandal taking quite a bit of damage from that Corrosive Skin. Not a fun lane. Looking elsewhere, we do have Mind Control up against Miposhka on top. This lane, generally feel like Doxia has a lot of freedom here. He can wave cut, he can do what he wants. Maybe Miposhka can get some mana draining on with cogs, but feels like Doxia is gonna be very happy.
And of course, now Fada's coming back. He's already purchased up the Ring of Basti, so he's going to be able to complete a Ring of Aquila. Again, just so much more pressure coming out. And we know Scandal does not have a salve available anymore, so he's very limited regen. And his bottle is not coming either, because even though he has 5 CS, he's already died once, and it's only going to get worse for him. So it's a very difficult matchup, and even Crow is coming in as a bit with charge potential. And this is pretty much a clean dominance for Liquid here at the middle line.
How do you salvage this? If you're the co-op, you're probably a little bit upset here. On Scandal, you're like, okay, this isn't how I wanted it to go. Do you say, hey, supports, maybe you can stack up something? I'm a Queen of Pain, I can take some stacks. Do you ask Rubik to come mid with his haste? I don't think Rubik can help you out.
No, not against the Viper, especially a Viper that just builds pure stats on Ring of Aquila. Look at this guy, he's already levels, he's got 7 armor at level 3, and he's got corrosive skin, that much harder. In terms of salvaging the lane, to be completely frank, it's impossible. Again, with this lane setup, the Morph needs all the attention he can get from the, and they're aggro trying, that they just cannot rotate it, otherwise they just lose out on the lane.
Yeah.
So from the early game, from the get draft as well as setup in the lane, Liquid are coming out vastly ahead.
And they're going for a charge onto top. Miposhka, he can definitely cogs this out, but it might be able to come from the trees a bit sneakily. Miposhka, he should be able to cogs it, and he gets it, and so now Kuroki, sad, monolith, but, and taking actually a lot of tower harass, finally swapping off that aggro. And again in mid, now Dazzle taking a lot of harassment, both Scandal and Dazzle getting low. It's just what you talked about, Viper is dominating this lane.
Yeah, it's a Viper against Intel's, like, Squid. You can actually send and the Dazzle, and this Viper will still. It's to that extent right now because of snowballing factor.
Yeah, so I agree with you as well. We've now got this problem of they've rotated the Dazzle and now this tri-lane. I don't know if they were hoping for kills with the Morph lane, but you're certainly not getting them now when you're down a man.
The Dazzle was here, like, potential is very limited. Unless they let the Slark into like 3 creeps and do a massive heal bomb or something, it's just not gonna happen.
So, feeling a bit unfortunate for Yellow Submarine, and it might even be something where you want to end up rotating your heroes just because you're getting... I mean, I guess Slark is... Actually, no, he's getting nothing on bottom. I didn't realize. So that's something.
Yeah, in terms of YeS, it's not bad. But again, when the enemy starts investing 3 heroes in the off lane, where they're not in a good... trying to shut you down and you're still 4 minutes, it's like, it's decent. Because you know Matumba, man, he's gonna get up on his farm when he hits level 6. He's gonna start jungling with his Dark Pack. And again, they won't be able to stop him. But here we go, Fada.
They're going for a gank on him. It looks like he's taking a lot of damage. He's still tanky, so tanky. And he pops 1 charges. He almost lives there because of those. And look at how low Scandal gets. It's what you talked about, the corrosive skin. They also managed to pick up Wyvern in the bottom lane. And now Ortez, he's going to just TP out while morphing strength. And they managed to pick up some kills for Yellow Submarine. But you had, as you said, expending 3 heroes on mid and them almost going down.
Yeah, it's like, that's just one of those kills that had to do it, but it could have gone so bad for them if there was like one support camping at the back lines, especially someone Roki. But I think it was realized and recognize that at least. But I think that's also a product of Fada doing a really greedy build. I know Bottle is not really what you want to go for on Viper these days, but he has like absolutely 0 regen. So I think most of the time when he takes any harassment, it's going to take a lot of time to build that up again in his life points. And I think the reason why that gank happened is actually because of that, because he wasn't full when they fought.
Yeah. So we will see as well. They don't actually have any stacks out yet for Matumba Man, and that's something, as you mentioned, I think will be really important for helping him catch up. The Queen of Pain is getting a couple made for her, so hopefully there'll be some salvaging of Scandal's farm, but Matumba Man might be not in the best of moods as the game progresses, although now he's starting to have a much better time. He's suddenly out-CSing the Morphling. I mean, I guess pushing him out of lane, doing enough work, and of course the gank in middle, freeing up some space there, even though the Wyvern did end up dying. Although, as I say this, a lot of damage going out on Matumba Man.
Got a salve and he's got a
Yeah. So, suddenly feeling pretty good. I'm a little bit surprised by how slow this game is, just because they did run the aggro try, but as you said, it's not really a kill lane for them, and neither side that interested. I mean, you'd love a kill if it came your way, but you're not going to go out of your way because it could turn on you very fast when you're fighting into something like a Dazzle.
Right. The main objective is definitely to dodge the Dark Zero Spirit Breaker potential lane, because they could have lost their intel heroes like left and right, and Morphling would have gotten pressured out of lane as well. Even then, as you see, like as you mentioned, even with the kill in CS, I guess, not only is Matumba Man leading in CS, but also period of time, you can see the Slark just solo zoning the more because of the level difference, as well as the fact we have a melee hero with a poor man shield versus a range hero without one. It's difficult. This is why aggro tri-lanes and putting carries in the offlane is generally advised against.
Yeah. Now, something else I wanted to point out, though, is that we have some interesting levels floating around. Kuroki's still level 2. This will happen to your roaming Spirit Breaker, but we are 6 minutes in, and he needs to maybe get a kill, get something done. Otherwise, he's going to be getting that Nether Strike very late, and they certainly need that lockdown for Scandal. And as I say, this Kuroki hook-shotted on. He is going to maybe try to charge away, but one more auto attack will do it. Gorich getting that kill. At the same time on bottom, Matumba Man, oh, he goes down as well. I thought he was going to get away for sure there.
Wow. Surprised as well that there's like no disables. Morphling, did he wait for that?
He waveformed over the top of Matumba Man's head, and Matumba Man was playing a little bit too low.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he went a bit in a bit riskily, trying to get some harassment out, it looks like. So, and they're gonna get, is Gorich going for the deep ward? Yeah. So, a nice, yep. I actually would have preferred one there to see the rotations, but I guess this one also gives vision over here. So, it's something.
Yeah, any deep ward at this point is pretty good to have in general because it shows that you were able to get in that position in the first place. But that kill on Matumba definitely really big. Something I didn't expect, and I was really looking at the top lane when they 3-man ganked the Spirit Breaker. Yeah. And that was like really not worth it.
100%. He's level 2. He's second to bottom on the net worth shot. Yeah.
Like your first clockwork hook being used for that, and then having to go back to heal for that. Don't know. Something that they got because it was like available to them right there, but Scandal rule that really hurt. Now he's forced to just stay at top, and I guess to an extent he can't really lane against them, but you can already see the Queen of Pain vastly behind on his game. Yeah, so far compared to Fada's 40.
Yeah, so Fada having a ball. Now, what do you go? I know a lot of Slocks, especially when I'm casting NA Dota, they love going Midas first on this hero, but considering this Slock didn't have the Matumba Man, not having the best of starts, does he have maybe just rush the Sandra Nyasha after some treads? What's the play?
I'm Midas myself in games like these because Midas is a great comeback item. Attack speed is fantastic on Slark. I don't know, he might just go Shadow Blade. It's very possible what he does is like amongst multiple different options. I do think Midas is, they'll just farm the woods non-stop. They can never kill him, and if they can't kill him, he's...
The charge is gonna latch, but again, Ortez, he does have another waveform to get out, and Matumba Man taking so much damage from that. This is just what he can't stand up to. The waveform doing way too much work, and every time it comes out, he's having to back off. So, these ganks on Morphling not latching, and I think this is really hurting Liquid's lineup.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how they're taking this. I guess the Dazzle is a big issue, a big reason why this is happening, because applying that heal bomb threat, but also he's there for the Grave, and they don't have a hard lockdown yet because the supports are neither supports are level 6. But it's just weird how they're approaching the game. Push out the lanes and farm. Play around the Darkseer right now, who's the strongest hero on their game aside from the Viper. I think they would have a better chance at their time.
Speaking of the strongest hero, he's about to get hook-shotted. Will they be able to finish him off with Scandal here? Might just auto-attack him to death, and that is a goodbye mind control. And they're just getting much better pickups from Yellow Submarine. The farm, actually, on Liquid, when it comes to CS, the Viper, and as you talked about, the Darkseer farming really well, but they're not getting any sort of picks, and I like the Darkseer has wall early. I'm not quite sure where he's going to be able to use it.
Yeah, that was really weird, but I mean, it is clockwork. It is heroes that's not a Darkseer when he's isolated. One of the reasons that mind control actually went bottle, there's not many Darkseers that, at least from what I've seen, you usually just go for the Soul Ring mana boots. But if you do go for bottle, like a lot of times you'll go for the rune as well. And but I'm starting to notice why they have a Viper at mid and doesn't get bottle. So you want somebody to go for the or have rune presence. But that's the kind of play that it opens up to. Those runes, a clockwork can hook you. You have to watch out.
Yep, and in bottom, Ortez just having the time of his life. He's picked up his CS a bunch. Splinter Blast gonna harass him a little bit, but he's got options and he's got a Dazzle backing him up. He could be going for the Midas as well on Morphling. I'm not super sure. I feel like he would have finished the treads if that's what he was going for.
Yeah, I think so. This game, I don't think... thing is, Morphling with a Midas is never bad, really. But this is one of those games where I feel like the way he's played so far, wants to keep it up. He needs stats as possible. To the point where I would imagine something like a Tread's Manta or Yasha.
Oh, the wall is dropped on Scandal up top, and Mind Control manages to take him down. The hook shot from Miposhka actually misses, and if Mind Control can juke around, he's going to get out, and he has a surge for sure. And now Miposhka in a lot of trouble. Fodder pushed back by the cogs, but he should be able to work his way around. He's pretty fast, and with Spirit Breaker coming in as well, Miposhka going down. What a play coming out from the Darkseer and the eventual death of Miposhka. He puts an Ion Shell on Fodder, not exactly the best Ion Shell target, but you know. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
So
it is indeed, and yeah, now we have in his inventory, you have 3 sources of mana: Soul Ring, Bottle, and Mana Boots. I personally think it's overkill, but hey, if you can spam that shell, why not?
Yeah, I agree. As you said, it's a bit of overkill. It does feel like sometimes you can even get by with the Soul Ring for quite a while. We see a lot of Darkseers go Soul Ring into mech. So, after with just brown boots, but personal preference, and as you said, the rune control, really powerful. If Queen of Pain is suddenly running at you with a haste, you're gonna have a bad time. So, speaking of Scandal, working on that catch-up is not looking good though.
Yep, Matuma Man's almost gotten hunted down here. They have 2 wards in the woods trying to scout him out, and Clockwork's obviously gonna be at the tower for a tower trade because Liquid already got it at top, and Scandal. I'm not sure what that was.
I did not catch that.
Was he just too slow?
His blink was on cooldown apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe he's slowed out.
I feel like if he blinked out of a chase scenario, he could have right after the blink because they had no more stuns to follow up. It almost looked like they just walked up to him and finished him off.
That does happen sometimes, right? You make a mistake. They've got some really deep wards on the side of Liquid already coming out, making sure that they have a lot of map presence, and Scandal could have thought, hey, I'm behind, you know, I'm on my tier 2, I should be safe. And instead Fodder is like, this is my jungle, I live here, I have my drums up. That's another thing, Fodder's gone for a very, very fast build. He might even pick up the Sanj and Yasha. He's got an easier, you know, sometimes we see Vipers go mech. Of course not the case here because there's a Darkseer who would love to, in the event of an Orchid, get up those Guardian Greaves. So Viper's freed up to go a bit more of that Sanj and Yasha, potentially some other items if he needs to build for damage as well.
Yeah, Bada's actually like very well-known Viper / Razor player, and I think lately he's changed up his item build on both heroes. He used to go like mech every game on both and Viper, but from what I've seen in his games, he's gone S and Y every single game. It's my first time seeing drums on him. Viper, I don't know how good it is, but I think he'll be going for S and Y next, just by his record.
Yeah, it's not something I've seen him run either, because usually one person on the team gets the drums, another gets the Aquila, just so that you don't have so many items you potentially have to sell super late game. But Jerax, he's slowing up an illusion. We've got a rocket coming in, and they've got the telekinesis onto Fodder. The hook shot as well, but I don't know if Fodder minds too much. But Clockwork, he's got backup, and that is a dead Viper if I've ever seen one. Pure damage, doesn't care about your corrosive skin, so a nice pick-off. At the same time, top lane being pushed in by Matumba Man, and he can just walk on away with that passive.
That was a really even though YeS Hello Submarine rotated 5 heroes, the fact that they got Fada, who is most farmed hero, they're able to pressure that much harder. Of course, they're still going up against the Darkseer Iron Shell with heroes that don't really push out the wave that hard. But again, a really big pick nevertheless. And now we're just gonna have this carry versus carry thing where both heroes farm the opposite sides of the map. Let's have ulti though.
Yeah, and we will see what happens. Ortez is being stunned up. Can they actually catch him? He uses his own stun, and the Shallow Grave comes out, and suddenly Ortez is away. Matumba Man's like, hey, Kuroki, I'm out, and Miposhka, he's coming in. Not a hook shot for a while, but now Matumba Man coming back. He immediately purges off the lift from Gorech, and he manages to leap over the wave there. They see him, though, and the hook shot, it's getting close to being off of cooldown. 7 more seconds, but here comes Falter coming in on the backsides. Gorech going down, and now Mind Control, he is ready. Could potentially, no, he misses the vacuum, but Kuroki doesn't care about your cogs. A hook shot over to the Jerax, and suddenly I don't think he wanted to be near Jerax either, although Jerax taking a lot of damage with the Blade Mail, but there is the Winter's Curse, and Fodder going in, just gonna be auto-attacking people, actually going for the body blocks. A bit of a funky move there. I wasn't expecting that one, and just trying to see if he can also catch PSM, but no such luck, so they managed to turn around that weird engagement onto the Morphling and get 2 kills out of it.
Bro was paying for that Dazzle kill too, because he saw that he had no.
Yeah.
Go. But that kill, Bro canceled his first ultimate. I'm not sure, like, when he was channeling the ulti, he just, like, stopped, and he just... I'm not sure what happened. Because if they got that ultimate off right away, with Dash and the... They would have just bursted down the Morphling before the supports could rotate in and actually grave him and delay the death and everything. So, that was kind of weird. As a matter of fact, he actually didn't go...
Yeah,
They
no,
did
the
turn around,
Morphling
as you
lived.
said.
So.
I figured he died, but he actually just didn't die. I think... I don't know what happened.
He wandered away, so he got healed, he got shallow graved, so he got out of the fight, and then he started to come back in, and then the moment that Matumba Man appeared, he was like, oh, you're on your own team. So, and
That
that's,
was weird,
I mean,
though. I don't know why Kuro canceled channeling of his ult. That was a kill for sure, I think.
no, a bit unfortunate there. So now we're going to be seeing Matumba Man lifted up again. He does get the purge. It's a bit late, and they have the hook shot, but again, Dark Pact doing work, and now he just manages to pounce away. I don't think they can catch anybody else with hook shot down, and they might actually get engaged upon. Mind Control is there and ready. He has got the wall vacuum. They go on Gorech. They don't even need the wall vacuum. Maposhka, I think, stopping the rest of them from going in, but Artez comes in. He is in. He has the ability to replicate out. I'm just not quite sure why he even came into the fight and putting himself in a bad position. He's got the TP, but do they have any sort of stopping mechanism? And that would be a no. With the Winter's Curse on cooldown, I think it's really rough to lock down a Morphling.
Yeah, certainly. A pretty close call for them, but do get out scot-free for the time being. Again, though, even if they rotate heroes in with wave, they're gonna have a hard time. Just their win condition this game is that they have to wipe the heroes of Liquid. And again, that Viper kill was really good earlier, but I'm not sure how many of those they're gonna find, because that was kind of like a free kill when Fada just walked into the fight. I don't think, even with the vision advantage, I don't think they're gonna get that again.
Now, if you're fodder here, are you thinking, I feel like Sanj and Yasha is nice just because there are a bunch of stuff that does go through BKB. I mean, I guess you can not have to worry about Morphling's waveform and stun and Rubik's telekinesis and Fade Bolt, but I don't know how much, as someone with corrosive skin built into your hero, you worry about that. Maybe just tanking up is the right way to go.
Approach is fine. Frank, if he gets BKB, like, he won't die in the fights. They just don't have enough physical damage right now to deal with
we
it.
have an engagement up top. They also use the vacuum on PSM. Gonna shallow grave himself. Should give Artez time to get out as well. And unless they get a bash. Oh, but they use the Winter's Curse as well. That's really unfortunate. It means there's no hope of locking down Artez, and they're actually still going on him. But he's just gonna get out. I'm pretty sure he's still staying around. Just being a bit of a pain, and yeah, there he goes. Replicating away. Is it called replicating away?
Yeah, replicating, morphing away.
Morphing away, so.
Just got out of there in the end. Yeah, nice little cheeky move. They're gonna harass a little bit more, grabbing himself an extra magic stick charge, I guess, but it really hurts him in the... He's the carry, he's the most important hero, and Kuroki's more than happy, wasting all the time he can on the...
Yeah.
Oh,
a hook shot onto Matumba Man. He should be able to pounce in 1 second. Can they body block him? And he's gonna go down.
They blocked him. It was a nice move. He had to pounce right away after the hook. Poshka was already trying to get into position for it, and by the time he did it, it was already too late.
And that's the up and the downside, of course. As a Slork, you can always kind of pounce into the cogs if the Clockwork's trying to push you out and so on, but you can also be body blocked and not be able to escape with that pounce. So, charge stolen by Gorech. I don't think they're going to follow up here. I think Yellow Submarine, yeah, they completely know that there are too many of Liquid's heroes nearby. Although Winter's Curse is down. So,
yeah, I just want to note that charge actually wasn't stolen.
Oh.
Traditionally Rubik would put against Spirit Breaker because you could steal the charge, and back then you could apply the greater bash with the charge.
Yeah.
Now, because of Empowering Haste, like any good Spirit Breaker will charge from across the map, and then they'll just click the Empowering Haste button, whether it's W or G. And then they just, like, you'll never steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to steal. Even if you steal Ultimate, it doesn't do the greater bash proc as it does for Spirit Breaker. Rubik's not as good against Spirit Breaker anymore as it.
Now, both sides have a number of smokes. Oh, we have an engagement going out onto PSM. There's also a courier nearby. Nether Strike. He does have the shallow grave, of course. It's going to buy him some time. Can the rest of his team come in? TP rotations as well. The TP out. Oh, he's vacuumed back. But I don't know if this is good for Liquid. They're all around here. Fodder getting gone on. And now his team kind of blocked off by the cogs. Charge is going to come out, but will it be too late? Viper is on the deck. And now Kuroki, he could be in a spot of trouble. The rocket comes out, though. And with the wall down, I don't know how many of them want to pursue. They're so low. Maposha getting bashed up. They use the Fade Bolt to, like, reduce his damage. And does Brave Mail coming back off cooldown? Doesn't matter. He is dead.
Dear.
Sonic Wave missed on Kuroki. He gets another kill, and Kuroki will finally go down, but he got a bunch of people deaded. Now, Mind Control, I think he can just surge away. The Sonic Wave missing, really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Obviously, he didn't anticipate the round on Rubik, but I think Kuroki noticed the life points dropping because there's an Iron Shell on me and I'm a Spirit Breaker. I'm not sure if it would have saved the kill. Regardless, the Sonic Wave is only on for 40 seconds because he has the Aghanim Step, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But Tumman also picked up a new item just now. He picked... I think only European Slarks still do this over the Shadow Blade. All the other Slarks, like NA and Chinese, I think they all go for Shadow Blades. I'm not sure. It's good for split pushing.
Yeah, I very much agree with that, and it's something where as long as Fodder is making space, even though he unfortunately went down, but it's something where the amount of time it takes to kill Fodder, Slog can get stuff done elsewhere on the map. So, he is tanky. Now, Mind Control will have... He could actually pick up the Blink Dagger already, and I'm a little surprised... There we go. I was about to say, maybe he's saving up for something else, but he goes for the obvious choice, picking up the Blink Dagger.
He'll have to drop an item for it. Get rid of his TP, because there's obviously not that much pushing going on from yellow. So here's an attempt on Artez.
Yeah, let's see. Nether Strike gonna come out. Miposhka is close enough, and there's a vacuum, but they're stuck in the cogs, actually pushed out. Maybe a misplay from Artez. They're gonna catch Kuroki. Sonic Wave, Mind Control healing up mostly from it. He doesn't have dot on him. He didn't actually have the blink delivered. Courier doing funky things. He finally gets the blink, but here comes Matumba Man. Winter's Curse as well. Gorach is dead. Now they're working in on Scandal, of course, has the blink up if she wants it. Fodder again, caught in the middle of everything, but Jerax with the cold embrace is not taking nearly enough damage, and with the wall down, how are they going to get over to the other side? Miposhka goes down. They'll gladly trade that for Wyvern, and oh, Scandal's going on Mind Control though now. Maybe he can actually stand here and fight, but not with the waveform coming through. A little bit surprised Matumba Man didn't re-engage there.
Yeah, I am
What's
too,
the
actually.
lockdown? I feel like there wasn't lockdown for him.
Yeah. I feel like I made like two really backward blink, safety blink. There was one time after the Wyvern Curse killed the target, blinked away to Dark Pact himself from some buffs. I'm not sure which one on him, but and then again, like towards the end there, he blinked away again instead of just going in on the bot.
Yeah.
No, he had the Iron Shell on him. Like he was strong. I think he could have actually cleaned up that fight. There was a lot of weave on him, weave stacks on him, so I sort of understand his wariness.
Yeah, so, and as it's something where he may not, of course, we as casters have the whole vision. He may not have realized that a lot of things were on cooldown, maybe worried about somebody else being the positioning. It can be scary, especially if you know that you're farming really well and you don't want to give them a big bounty. This game is really close, that's the other thing. It's not at all like the other games Liquid has played today, and, oh, he just Midas the TP creep? That's a bit rude.
That was very nice. Of course, Artez, he has the bots, still moving around very fast, and he's not much. But you know, we haven't talked too much about this guy. He's farming really well.
Yeah.
Okay, net worth almost finished up his Lincolns with the boots travel as well as the Midas, and he's slowly becoming a factor. You know, Morphling, he stopped getting picked because his ability to transition into the mid game was so weak. His laning phase was crippled from the loss of stats. But hey, when you can Midas, boot travel, and be the highest net worth game, it's one of the scenarios that could definitely make it.
And I was concerned about the Midas because something we've seen before in games is people go Midas, you get punished heavily for it. You're still very squishy. You're not maybe doing the most damage because, yeah, up attack speed, but if you don't hit hard, it doesn't matter too much. But because of the lack of Shadow Blade out of Slok early, since he also went a Midas, and because this Viper actually having a bit harder time than we maybe expected, nobody's punishing Morphling.
And it's obviously very hard to do so if the Wyvern or the Spirit Breaker aren't in position. To be honest, even if they are, like their ability to burst down a Morph, not there right now. They need a lot more items on to be a potent threat, and of course they would need the Iron Shell as well as the Viper to possible. Artez caught without mana at top.
Oh goodness, he's getting back and back, but he's very close. He's morphing strength. He's going to get Winter's Curse and Shallow Grave. He might still be able to get out of this with the help of his Dazzle, and there's a hookshot in if they can just cogs him away. But one last hit gets the kill, and now the rest of the lineup, although Fodder going very deep, Gorach trying to manage to pull him into the base, but Fodder instead just down to half health. Can Scandal do anything else here? Sonic Wave is on cooldown for 30 more seconds, and hookshot is down as well. They do throw out a nice little Splinter Blast. Jerax may be in a spot of trouble. I think he has another Cold Embrace for himself if he's worried at all. So really nice pick off on Artez, and kind of funny because, you know, you think you're that close to your base, probably why he was limping back to base, he had no mana. Not the case.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of good vision coming out on that side. It's a Spirit Breaker on. You always have to watch out whether you're getting charged or not. And this is a level 2 Spirit Breaker at 10 minutes into the game. Look at him now, he's got a Shadow Blade.
Yeah. Shadowblade, level 11, doing good work, and the Shadowblade here does feel like sometimes Spirit Breakers go Glimmer Cape, sometimes they go Shadowblade. Here I really like the Shadowblade because it's that surprise assassination factor, and since you do always get the bash on the Charge of Darkness, then following it up with the Nether Strike, you can maybe lock down the Queen of Pain, maybe lock down the Morphling.
Very strong indeed. Goro falling pretty low here. He's gonna Shadowblade, I think for the... yeah. Pretty
Bit worried there. So, but of course, these players much more experienced than me, and sometimes you get worried, and it's like, no, they're completely fine. They know what they're doing. So, what do you go after the Lincolns? I feel like this Morphling, he's got up the Lincolns. He's going to be less susceptible to some of the things, although, of course, Viper Strike might be used to burn that instead of the Winter's Curse. And you can also use Splinter Blast, although it's a bit weird.
Jerax
Actually, Morphling, speaking of Splinter Blast, Jerax, yeah, dead. What do you go next for damage on a Morphling here?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like Manta's a good option, but he might. I don't know. I think my abilities. This is one of those games where this Morphling has to hard carry. He has to solo carry this game.
Yeah.
And for that, he needs 6 items, and to get to 6 items, he needs.
It's actually kind of surprising to me that he went for the Lincolns just because, oh, we have an engagement up top, Nether Strike coming out, Gorech Shallow Graved up, but Matumba Man, he is here. Can they
this
return?
is not gonna work.
What's not gonna work?
The timing was off. Yeah, you'd already got bashed up for more than 3 seconds. No matter what.
Oh, a nice little pickup. I wonder here as well, the Lincolns, I don't think it's bad at all. There are lots of great spells it blocks, and they're all big spells, except for maybe the Splinter Blast. But with the prevalence of something like Lotus Orb, maybe it's something where I would say actually maybe rely on your teammates to get a Lotus Orb up. Someone like the Clockwork who's actually farming pretty well.
I think the Lotus is definitely a good idea. There's a lot of single targets left to worry about, but that's more of a fight thing. It's just one of those items. When you're dealing with a Spirit Breaker and a Wyvern as the main control sources on the enemy team, you want it, especially because Lincoln procs the Spirit Breaker, charging away from like 5,000 range across the map, and it's just really good to have in that sense. You can never get ganked by the Spirit Breaker in that sense.
Yeah. Tumberman finishing up his Sanjan Yasha, so starting to bring some hurt to the party himself.
Oh, this is new. They're Roshing now. Just tanking up with the Replicator loop. This is a really, really good Roshan. They're doing it without a medallion, and they're doing it quite fast.
Yeah, and it looks like actually some members of Liquid having an idea, but they're not going to get there fast enough. Matumba Man coming in, and he is going to be late to the Roshan. He might get a pick up here onto the Rubik, but maybe they're fine trading that. He's in his Shadow Dance form, and can they get any sort of other kill? The rest of... Okay, yeah, they just let the Rubik die. I think that's fine if you're not feeling like you're ready to engage, especially with the Replicate.
Yeah,
Replicate actually was still fine, so...
That was fast. It seemed pretty deliberate too. They don't have the best warding around the area, but they just recognized where Liquid's heroes are with their warding and said, hey, I don't think they can respond in time. Do it. And they took it down pretty quickly than I had imagined. His Morphling actually, if he's able to get hits for almost 200 damage a hit, pretty good.
And another thing to mention is they had good, like as you said, they had the good vision on where Liquid's heroes were, and they had areas pushed out, so it wasn't as obvious, you know. Oh, okay. Scandal, I know you have Ags, but sometimes you scare me when you Sonic Wave or Creep Wave, especially when a push is coming on your bottom lane.
Yeah, that was actually not a good that shows Liquid that even though there's an Aegis on the other team, still apply some pressure.
And as you said,
they're poised to do so.
It buys wasted time on that Aegis, because they know Scandal's probably not going to initiate until his ult is back up, and so now Artez, they can go on him a little bit, or even that Artez will just dodge them. Because they could choose to wait out this Aegis on the side of Liquid.
That Viper illusion sense here.
Yeah. And Fodder is being healed up. Yeah, somebody needs to hurt the Viper illusion, and then we get funky stuff happening, but no such luck. We're gonna see a slow siege in. Scandal does have his ult back, and I think a lot of this... Oh, the initiation mind control just 4-man back in from nowhere.
Goodness.
There's the charge. There's the Winter's Curse. Did that just happen? They've got the Queen of Pain. They've got Gorech and Artez. He's trying to waveform away, but oh, he manages to replicate out. But he's in the back lines of the fight with the Clockwork going down. Where did Artez end up going? He's back in base. Okay, I don't know. Mind control just walked up there. Did I see that wrong?
They actually
he
just walked in. Totally charged from an angle that they weren't expecting it. So,
but the mind control vacuum came before the charge is what stunned me. Like he just literally walked in, said hello guys, I'm Adoxia.
Yeah, that was actually very sloppy. So even like this Morphling now, he's picked up a Eagle Horn. I'm not sure if he's going to E-Blade still.
Dire's structures
Faded into the past, but he's not going to be able to hold any. If at the very least they're going to lose.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
and this game suddenly in Liquid's favor after that team fight. They were definitely pulling ahead slowly, but I wasn't expecting them to take the win here. Matumba Man, is he going to? Oh, he goes
my
down.
goodness.
Morphling sniper, Morphling. Never let him be called anything else. And Matumba Man making a bit of a big mistake. It's going to actually secure them the defensive racks. I think if Matumba Man were around, it depends. People were respawning. It would be close either way. And hookshot off the mark, unfortunately. So, Yellow Submarine getting a second life.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure if that changes like what just happened with. I don't know if that changes the dynamic of how the game will proceed from here on out. Again, Liquid's wombo combo is ridiculous. Yellow Submarine, they definitely got caught with their pants down, but I see another like at least 2-3 man vacuum into a winding, and it's not hard to execute against those heroes that are always gonna have to close to an extent.
Additionally, oh yeah, Mind Control has the blink as well, so I mean he got away with the walk up that time. He doesn't need it though.
He has a
if
force staff now too. He can close a lot more distance. It's not 2k. If he ends up getting the Shivas or the BKB, it'll become that much easier.
Yeah.
So again, even with Matumba's death here, Tez he got up an E-Blade now, and they don't get a whole bunch of kills with the combo and threaten the whole map on Liquid, which I don't think they'll be able to. Then you're looking at a tough scenario yet again.
So Kuroki has casually got 3.6k gold and actually might think that he's going for a gank. Oh, Matumba Man, that is not where you want to be. He's going to leap down to the low ground, the hook shot. Oh.
Blink to dodge the hook. That was nice. That was pretty sweet.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and we're gonna have another team fight. And here comes Mind Control. He is on his way over. The lineup of Yellow Submarine have to be careful. Fodder actually going forwards while blowing up the Wyvern. Another snipe, and now Fodder is in a bit of trouble. But here it comes. We've got to charge in, and there's a wall vacuum onto 3 this time. But that is good enough. Gorich taking a lot of damage. But Poshka just saying, "I need to leave," and they're actually gonna kill out Gorich. And Artez, Gorich I think falls here, but Artez getting another one of those snipes. Artez is hitting hard here, although he might be in trouble because both him and his replicate are really nearby. They pick up the Queen of Pain. He's got out the Ethereal Blade and going for the TP, but vacuum, it should be... Oh, they managed to burn the Aegis, and he's running away his replicate, so he should be able to get out there. He's actually going for the snipe onto Fodder. Artez is out, though. Yellow Submarine doing a lot better in these fights, considering this vacuum that's coming out, because I have to say, Mind Control playing really well.
Yeah, it's the MVPs of these fights for sure are definitely Artez on Yellow Submarine side and Mind Control on side of Liquid. Fodder going in a little deep, and of course kind of got isolated by the clockwork there, and Mind Control came in to try and save him, but unfortunately the winner's curse was already eliminated the team fight because Artez sniped him out with the E-Blade combo. And hey, if you're gonna get snipes like that to start the fight 4v5, basically better than a Doom.
Yeah. So it was also just, he went super deep with it, but of course Morphling a very mobile hero, so he was in and out. And it was something funny too where Fodder also dived really deep to... he just knew he was tanky enough, especially with this new AC coming out, and he was just kind of in the middle of 4 members of Yellow Submarine not going down for quite a while there.
I think Fodder might really look into Manta style by now. There's a lot of single target and a lot of single target focus coming out of Yellow Submarine that he wants to evade, especially the E-Blade combo, even Corrosive Skin. That's a combo that's always gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You just dodge the E-Blade, which is a projectile, definitely just proceed to be stronger fight.
And
So it's either BKB, I think, or Manta that should be his next item.
Kuroki picking up the Lotus Orb himself. When it reflects the Ethereal Blade, it does it based on your own stats, right? Lotus Orb?
I believe it does. It's like kind of recasting the ability, but I'm not sure. I've never seen a Lotus E-Blade interaction this way. Buys items in the same game ever. Yeah. One
thing we saw last game, I don't know, you probably know about this one, but it was something I'd seen for the first time. A charge, if the target you're charging smokes, the charge is just cancelled. First time seeing that in an earlier game, and that was pretty exciting. It's not something that happens terribly often, you know? So, but yeah, this Lotus Orb, so something actually funny for Yellow Submarine, I was mentioning how they can get a Lotus Orb. I actually think it's always really risky to get a Lotus Orb into the Spirit Breaker, because I'm the Spirit Breaker. If I'm across the map, maybe I'm like chilling here farming, I see someone casually cast the Lotus Orb, or maybe there's another engagement on their ally, I might just charge them to make the person who's Lotus Orb have awful positioning.
Yeah, it's actually very good in that really screw around with their usage.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's something they needed as so. It's gonna be hard. If Kuroki plays around it and with their positioning, then it just go in the other way and itself as a. Now they need it. And no real complaints here so far.
Yep. And we will be seeing Morphling continuing to get his farm up, working on that Scotty, most likely his next item. Miposhka also has a Vlad's for the team, so they're really betting it all on this.
This Morphling has to carry 1v5 this game. And he's actually getting the scenario to do 21k net worth. The next guy up is actually Mind Control. 16k almost.
Well, that's what you get when you land amazing vacuum combos.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, he's going for, and they just miss out. So Morphling escaping and Mind Control not able to make it latch. I would say with these vacuums and then the charges through by Kuroki, oh, they're going again and no such luck. It's almost like having some strange sort of black hole. It's like their own, because of the charge through, they're getting a really long duration on a lot of heroes. So, now looking around the map, we still have a huge lead for Liquid. I'm a little bit surprised by that just because of how well the Morphling is doing, but of course the Queen of Pain having a rough time herself. 12,000 net worth lead and 12,000 experience for Liquid.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit worse now. There's Roshan, and I don't think Liquid has a clue about it.
Yeah. And the Scotty is finished up. Another interesting thing to point out is I believe they're going, very few people worried about buyback here despite the state of the game. For Liquid, I don't think that's unusual because they have a lot of towers left, but for YeS Submarine, I think you have to start being careful because if you take one bad engagement, you can be out.
Yeah, for sure. But this Morphling has Aegis now, so his margin of error just expanded pretty vastly, I would say. At the very least, if he gets comboed down by a couple ultimates, he's happy about it because back he's going to be able to fight without dealing with those crowd control ultimates. That's a really big deal. I'm surprised Liquid actually test them at all for that Roche. They should have had a time right. Probably dead.
Yeah, Gorich, he manages to throw out some Viper Strike action. Matumba Man may be in a bad spot, but there it is. Reflected, it doesn't do nearly enough damage to the Morphling. Actually, his Lincoln popped it, never mind. And so now Fodder taking a lot of damage as well. Artez is Winter's Cursed up, but again, those are the ultimates. He doesn't mind burning that, but the rest of his team falling. Scandal melts, but Post is gonna fall too. And now it's gonna be Morphling against the world. I don't know if Artez has this. He immediately gets away. And just like last team fight, I don't know how well he defends against the rest of Liquid, and this might just be GG for game 1.
I think so. Again, the Morphling worked out until this point, but yeah, that's the highest net worth, and they did a good job in the lanes. Got a couple more kills than they should. Team fight, look at the lineups overall. I don't see how YeS Submarine can take this game past 40 minutes unless Morphling's just completely out of control snowballing. Yeah, there's so much sustain coming out of Liquid too with Guardian Greaves, heals from Wyvern, Urns. They're gonna keep going.
Oh, Artez, he's turned into a little bit of a piggy and he's vacuumed back and now a lot of damage coming out. Matumba Man gets the bash, of course he does. I'm not gonna be surprised if we see GG's coming out. And he gets the bash again onto Scandal. He doesn't have the Abyssal yet. He's just bashing like a... He is bashful. He practices, clearly. And that's our GG call. We're going to head into a game 2. Thank you so much for joining me, Clairvoyance. This was fantastic. Do you have some final words?
Oh no, unfortunately I can't join for game 2 because I have some errands to run, but I can hopefully demonstrate it Dota again and YeS Submarine.
Yeah, we'll be seeing, once again, folks, you've been watching Starladder, Liquid versus YeS Submarine. I'm Llama Down Under. I was joined by Clairvoyance. Please show him your love. Do you have Twitter?
No, I'm a hermit without any social.
You're a hermit. Okay.
Don't worry about me, but I'll show up eventually.
Anyway, I would love your feedback on how to get better. You can leave that at Llama Down Under.